There's a window left open in the room where you stayed. The curtain is breathing in the light as it fades. A half-empty teacup sits beside the old chair. The scent of the morning still lingers in the air. I trace the dust settled on the sill with my hand, trying to hold something I don't understand. The street below carries the echo of your steps, a tune I keep humming, though I always forget. The pages I've turned since you walked through the door are filled with the seasons I was searching you for. A photograph taken on a slow autumn day has yellowed around all the edges and frayed. I set it beside the open window at noon and watched as the light stretched across the small room. The shadows crept in as the afternoon grew long and quietly turned all my memories to song. A window left open to the world outside, where the wind carries whispers you could never hide, where the light falls gently on the things you left behind. A window left open in the corners of my mind. I'm not waiting for answers, I'm not waiting at all, just listening closely to the rain as it falls, and in every drop that taps the ledge by the pane, I find a little piece of you again. Maybe time is a curtain, thin and white, that moves without asking, day into night. Maybe love is the window, always ajar, letting in what it can, keeping out what we are. I haven't moved much since the last time you came. The furniture sits in the dust like a frame. The clock on the mantle ticks its patient refrain, and somewhere between now and then I remain. I read an old letter I once meant to send and left it unfinished, the way seasons end. But the window stays open through the cold and the gray, because closing it now would mean sending you away. A window left open to the world outside, where the wind carries whispers you could never hide, where the light falls gently on the things you left behind. A window left open in the The rain came down without a word last evening and drew its silver lines across the glass. I sat with just the lamp beside me burning and watched the wet reflection slowly pass. The street lamps blurred to halos in the downpour. The pigeons found their ledges still and small, and all the city softened into something too quiet and too beautiful to call. I poured a cup and held it with both fingers. The steam rose up and disappeared in air, like conversations carried half remembered, like faces I can almost see from there. The radio played something old and easy, a melody without a home or name, and in the space between each gentle measure, I felt the night arrive, and you became shadows of a quiet rain on cobblestones below, reflections of a time when everything moves slow. I'm not afraid of silence, not afraid of gray, shadows of a quiet rain are all I need today. They speak the way you used to, soft and without weight. They fall the way the evenings fell outside our gate, and in the shadow and the silver, something still remains, shadows of a quiet rain. I used to think that rain was only weather. Now I know it holds a certain kind of grace, a rhythm and a language all its own, a way of saying things we can't replace. By midnight all the streets had gone to mirror, each drop had made the city shine like film, and I was somewhere caught between two moments, the one that passed and one that waits to begin. I turned the lamp off slowly near 11 and lay in all that blue and pooled light sound. The rain kept its own faithful conversation long after I had lost the words I'd found. Shadows of a quiet rain on cobblestones below, reflections of a time when everything moves slow. I'm not afraid of silence, not afraid of gray, shadows of a quiet rain are all I need today. They speak the way you used to, soft and without weight. They fall the way the still keeping the evening exactly as still. Just the lamp beside me burning, and watch the wet reflection slowly pass. The street lamps blurred to halos in the downpour. The pigeons found their ledges still and small, and all the city softened into something too quiet. There's a drawer I keep locked in the back of the hall, where the letters I wrote you are stacked up and tall. Every word chosen carefully, every line drawn with care, every sentence beginning with wishing you were there. Some are sealed with the wax of a long autumn night, some are smudged where my hand moved too fast in the light. Some were started in summer and finished in fall, and the most honest one never got started at all. I wrote of the mornings I walked by the sea, and the way that the fall made a stranger of me. I wrote of the market on Saturday noon, and the flower stall girl, and the sad little tune she was playing on something too small for the street, and the melody lingered beneath my cold feet. And I wrote that I thought of you then, standing there in the middle of everything, lost in the air. Letters never sent, held inside a drawer, full of all the feelings I was saving If I could send just one of them, just one, I'd choose the shortest one I ever wrote. 3 lines on the back of an envelope that simply said, I think of you, I hope. The drawer is still locked and the key is still hid behind the small clock in the way that it did when you were still someone I thought I might call, when I wasn't yet certain of nothing at all. But certainty leaves like the last of the light, and the letters stay sealed through the cold of the night. And I keep them like windows that no longer close, like the last of the amber before winter goes. Letters never sent, held inside a drawer, full of all the feelings I was saving you for. Words that found their endings but could never find the start. Letters never sent, still beating in my heart. I kept them like the last leaves of a season gone, like the last few measures of a half-remembered song. And even though they're fading at the folded seams, they're all I have of everything you ever meant to me. Unsent, unread, but carefully kept, like a name on the lips of someone asleep. The afternoon was amber when I last saw your face. The light came through the linden trees and filled the whole place. We sat beside the fountain in the square of old stones, and the world felt like a painting that was ours alone. A vendor pushed a cart of flowers past without a word. A bicycle bell rang twice, then the city blurred, and you were saying something soft about the coming fall. But I was watching sunlight, not quite hearing it all. The shadows reached the cobblestones before we rose to leave, and the amber turned to copper in the last of the eve. We walked the long way back along the canal's grey edge, while the willows combed the water from the overhanging stopped to watch a swan drift past the stone bridge below, and the light behind your shoulder made a kind of halo. And I thought, this is the moment I'll be reaching for, long after it's become a door I can't find anymore. The last amber afternoon, the last of the gold, before the world grew quiet and the season grew cold. The light on the water, the light on your hair, the last amber afternoon still burning somewhere. I don't need a photograph, I don't need a sign. That afternoon is written in the spaces between time. And whenever the light falls amber through a window or door, I'm standing in that square with you, just like before. Every year October comes and finds me standing still at the corner of the memory that time will never fill. The fountain still runs cold, the linden leaves still fall, and somewhere in the amber I can almost hear you call. The years have laid their seasons over everything we share. The fountain square is different now, or maybe I'm not there. But sometimes in the early dusk, when the light turns just so, I find myself back in that day, moving slow. The way you turned and smiled before we reached the gate, the way the city held its breath a moment just to wait, and the amber spilled across the stones like something old and true, the last great light of everything. And it was ours, it was you. The last amber afternoon, the last of the gold, before the world grew quiet and the season grew cold. The light on the water, the light on your hair, the last amber afternoon still burning somewhere. There's a place I keep returning to in half sleep and in dreams, somewhere between then and now. Nothing's quite what it seems. The faces there are familiar in the way old music is, not sharp enough to name, but warm enough to miss. The light there falls the way it did in late September rooms, through curtains that are neither white nor yellow but between, and everyone is moving very slowly, very soft, like frames of silent film projected up aloft. I've tried to find the edges of that somewhere in between, to trace it back to memory or to something I have seen, but it dissolves the moment that I hold it up today, like morning frost on pavement when the sun has come to stay. Still I find myself returning when the afternoon grows thin, when the city sounds grow distant and the quiet lets me in to somewhere between the leaving and the not yet being gone, where everything is ending but the song keeps going on. Somewhere between then and now, the light is always soft, the voice is never sharp enough to carry or get lost. It's not the past exactly, and it's not quite memory. It's somewhere in between the you I knew and who you'd be. I don't know how to reach it, and I don't know how I stay, but somewhere between then and now, I visit every day. And when I leave, I carry something I can't put in words, somewhere between then and now. And this is all I know for sure. Between the hello and the letting go, between the fire and the fading glow, between the knowing and the not quite sure, that's where I find you. That's where you were. Perhaps the in-between is where the truest things are kept, not wide awake, but not exactly having slept, not fully here, but not entirely gone from sight. Not afternoon, not evening, not the morning light. The train is in the station, but has not yet left the track. The letter's been delivered, but there's no way to get back. And somewhere in that moment, where the possible still breathes, I find the version of us that the future always leaves. Somewhere between then and now, the light is always soft. The voice is never sharp enough to carry or get lost. It's not the past exactly, and it's not quite memory. It's somewhere in between the you I knew and who you'd be. I don't know how to reach it, and I don't know how I stay, but somewhere between then and now, I visit every day. And when I leave, I carry something I can't put in words. Somewhere between then and now, and this is all I know for sure. Between the hello and the letting go, between the fire and the fading glow, between the knowing and the not quite sure, that's where I find you, that's where you were. Perhaps the It isn't autumn, it isn't spring, it has no name, it has no ring of a bell that calls the mornings in. It's the space between where I begin to feel the air a different way, to see the light change in a day, without a name for what I feel, but knowing something in me is real. I bought some flowers for no reason, for this unnamed and borderless season. I set them where the window faces east and watch them open, small at least. The neighbor's radio played something from a decade that was still becoming, and the melody sat perfectly still in the season I can't name but feel. The season I can't name but know by feel. maybe every life has its unnamed time, a passing between lines, a space between rhyme that isn't catalogued or kept on any shelf, a season that belongs entirely to yourself. The tea kettle hums on the stove by the wall, and the season is neither summer nor fall. The cup fills with something warm and unclear, and I sit with the feeling of almost being here. The cat finds a patch of the afternoon sun and curls in it quietly, just to become the perfect example of something I chase. This nameless season, this unhurried grace, a season I can't name but know by feel, the kind of quiet that makes the silence real. Not happy, not quite sad, but somewhere between, a season I can't name, a light I've never seen in summer's ending or in winter's start. It visits me in some unmarked part of the heart, and I live inside it for a day or two. This nameless season that always brings me back to you. No name for it, no date, no turning leaves, just the season that arrives without a reason. Cafe on the corner of the rue I used to know still has the same red awning and the table set below. The waiter in the apron has a different face these days, but the light still filters in the same through the November haze. I ordered what I always did and sat beside the glass and watched the same parade of coats and faces slowly pass. A woman read a paperback, a man wrote in a book, and everyone inside that room had that familiar look of people who have learned to need a table and a chair, a cup of something warm, and the permission to just stare at nothing and at everything at once and all the same, at the world outside the window moving gently in the frame. I heard a song come softly from the speaker near the bar, something from another decade played on an old guitar, and everything inside me tilted slowly to the past. to the echoes of the cafe that I thought I'd found at last. Echoes of an old cafe in a city I still love. The same light through the same glass, the same sky above, the same smell of dark coffee and of autumn in the street. The echoes of an old cafe, everything bittersweet. I am not the same as when I first pulled out this very chair, but the cafe holds the echo of the person who sat there, and the music from the speaker plays the same familiar phrase. Echoes of an old cafe, echoes of those days. We never know the last time as it happens. We never mark the exits as they come. The cafe goes on being the cafe long after we've become someone else or no one. I left a coin beside the saucer as I rose to go, and turned once at the doorway in the amber of the glow. The tables still were filled with all their solitary guests, their coats on empty chairs, their cups pressed to their chests. The music from the speaker found a chorus and a close, and outside the November moved with its unhurried prose. And I walked back into the city, pulling up my collar high, carrying the echo of the cafe like a lullaby. Echoes of an old cafe in a city I still love. The same light through the same glass, the same sky above, the same smell of dark coffee and of autumn in the street. The echoes of an old cafe, everything bittersweet. I'm not the same as when I first pulled out this very chair, but the cafe holds the echo of the person who sat there, and the music from the speaker plays the same familiar phrase. Echoes of an old cafe, echoes of those days. Still the light, still the chair, still the echo left behind, still the cafe in the corner of my mind. Drove the road that fades to blue at the edge of afternoon, past the fields of dried out lavender beneath the early moon, past the farmhouse with the broken gate, the chapel on the hill, past the row of silver poplars standing perfectly still. The radio was barely there, a signal in and out, a voice that kept on singing something full of patient doubt. And the road stretched on before me like a question I had kept too long inside my pocket, too long while the world slept. The headlights caught the gravel as the daylight left the sky and turned the roadside grasses to a kind of lullaby. A rabbit paused beside the ditch and looked at me, then gone. And the blue that filled the rear view was the blue-eyed lips so long. I've been driving towards some version of the end of something known, some horizon that keeps backing up, some light I've not yet shown. But the blue that fills the distance is the softest kind of call. The road that fades to blue knows how to hold us after all. The road that fades to blue in the last of the light, where the day becomes a color and the color becomes night, where the past is in the rear view and the future is the haze. The road that fades to blue, the road that fades to grace. I'm not running from anything, I'm not arriving soon, I'm just driving where the daylight fades to blue. And the blue holds something gentle, holds something still and true. The road that fades to blue, fading into you. There are roads you drive not knowing why, and destinations that are simply sky. And the going is the only thing that's real, and the blue is the only thing you feel. I pulled over near a viewpoint as the stars began to show, and stood outside the engine's warmth and let the cold wind blow. The valley down below was lit with amber threads of road, and the blue above was absolute, and absolute and whole. I thought of every road I'd taken thinking I was lost, of every turn that cost me something, every bridge I crossed. And standing in the blue, I felt the strangest kind of peace. The road that fades to blue is where the holding things release. The road that fades to blue in the last of the light, where the day becomes a color and the color becomes night, where the past is in the rear view and the future is the haze. The road that fades to blue, the road that fades to grace. I'm not running from anything, I'm not arriving soon, I'm just driving where the daylight fades to blue. And the blue holds something gentle, holds something still and true. The road that fades to blue, fading into you. Fading blue, fading blue, fading into night. Still driving, still searching for that light. Before the city fully woke, I walked along the square. The fog had left its fingerprints on everything out there. The benches held the shadows of the night before they left, and the morning light came sideways, tentative and soft and deft. A figure at the fountain had his collar turned against the cold. A woman with a bicycle was carrying something old, and all of them were silhouettes before the day grew clear, moving through the morning like a memory I held dear. I stopped beside the bakery where the window glowed with bread, and watched the shapes move slowly past before the world was red. A child pressed their mittens flat against the frosted pane, and left two perfect handprints there before they came away again. The light was making halos of the ordinary things, of a lamppost and a railing and a pigeon spreading wings, and I was standing still inside the middle of it all, a silhouette myself inside that morning's curtain call. Silhouettes in the morning light before the world is named, before the shapes resolve to faces, nothing is explained, just the outline of existence, soft against the gray. Silhouettes in the morning light before they fade away. I wanna stay inside that moment, still and undefined, before the day becomes the day and leaves the shapes behind. There is beauty in the outline, beauty in the form, silhouettes in the morning light before they all transform. Every person is a silhouette before you know their name. Every love is just an outline until it speaks your name. And maybe all we really see is shadow before light, and maybe that is where we're truest, at the edge of night. The morning opened slowly like a photograph in a bath, and colors filled the silhouettes along the cobbled path. The figure at the fountain had a scarf of faded red. The woman with the bicycle turned into someone's friend, and everything resolved into the ordinary day. But I kept the memory of the outlines on the gray. The shapes before the city knew exactly what to call them, the silhouettes in morning light before the morning falls them. Silhouettes in the morning light before the world is named, before the shapes resolve to faces, nothing is explained, just the outline of existence, soft against the gray. Silhouettes in the morning light before they fade away. I wanna stay inside that moment, still and undefined, made of light and gray, still becoming silhouettes of the day. In a house I haven't entered in a decade or more, there's a clock on the mantle keeping time like before. It was wound by a hand that grew tired of winding and left the spring coiled in its own kind of minding. The pendulum swings to a count that I knew. Each tick was the sound of a moment with you. And somewhere that clock is still marking the hours, still chiming the half past through the silence and flowers. I've replaced all my clocks with the kind that don't chime, with the digital faces that just move through time. But the silence they keep isn't silence at all. It's the shape of the chiming that still fills the hall. The quarter-hour tone in the back of my ear, the half-past that opened to let the day clear, the full-hour chorus that gathered the room still chimes somewhere past the back of the afternoon. Somewhere the clock still chimes the hour I last loved you. Somewhere the hands still move the way they always knew. The quarter, the half, the slow and patient hold. Somewhere the clock still chimes and keeps my soul. I can't go back to wind it, can't lean in and hear the bell in the hallway of a vanished year. But it chimes in my memory, faithful and precise. Somewhere the clock still chimes, and that will have to suffice. Time is the strangest keeper of all. It gives us the chime, then takes away the hall. Gives us the hour, then moves on regardless. Keeps the clock running when everything else is. My daughter once asked me why clocks make a sound, and I said because time needs to know that it's found, that it hasn't slipped past like a river in dark, but has someone to hear it, someone to mark. She nodded and wound up her little toy clock and set it beside her and listened for the knock of the small metal bell at the top of the hour. And we sat there together keeps my soul. I can't go back to wind it, can't lean in and hear the bell in the hallway of a vanished year. But it chimes in my memory, faithful and precise, somewhere the clock still chimes, and that will have to suffice. 1/4 something, 1/2 a life, still chiming the hour in the stillness of time. There's a window left open in the room where you stayed. The curtain is breathing in the light as it fades. A half-empty teacup sits beside the old chair. The scent of the morning still lingers in the air. I trace the dust settled on the sill with my hand, trying to hold something I don't understand. The street below carries the echo of your steps, a tune I keep humming, though I always forget. The pages I've turned since you walked through the door are filled with the seasons I was searching you for. A photograph taken on a slow autumn day has yellowed around all the edges and frayed. I set it beside the open window at noon and watched as the light stretched across the small room. The shadows crept in as the afternoon grew long and quietly turned all my memories to song. A window left open to the world outside, where the wind carries whispers you could never hide, where the light falls gently on the things you left behind. A window left open in the corners of my mind. I'm not waiting for answers, I'm not waiting at all, just listening closely to the rain as it falls, and in every drop that taps the ledge by the pane, I find a little piece of you again. Maybe time is a curtain, thin and white, that moves without asking, day into night. Maybe love is the window, always ajar, letting in what it can, keeping out what we are. I have haven't moved much since the last time you came. The furniture sits in the dust like a frame. The clock on the mantle ticks its patient refrain. And somewhere between now and then I remain. I read an old letter I once meant to send and left it unfinished, the way seasons end. But the window stays open through the cold and the gray, because closing it now would mean sending you away. A window left open to the world outside, where the wind carries whispers you could never hide, where the light falls gently on the things you left behind. A window left open in the corners of my mind. I'm not waiting for answers, I'm not waiting at all, just listening closely to the rain as it falls, and in every drop that taps the ledge by the pane, I find a little piece of you again. A window left open, a curtain that sways, a memory drifting through the last of the days. The rain came down without a word last evening and drew its silver lines across the glass. I sat with just the lamp beside me burning and watched the wet reflections slowly pass. The street lamps blurred to halos in the downpour. The pigeons found their ledges still and small, and all the city softened into something too quiet and too beautiful to call. I poured a cup and held it with both fingers. The steam rose up and disappeared in air, like conversations carried half remembered, like faces I can almost see from there. The radio played something old and easy, a melody without a home or name, and in the space between each gentle measure, I felt the night arrive, and you became shadows of a quiet rain on cobblestones below, reflections of a time when everything moves slow. I'm not afraid of silence, not afraid of gray. of a quiet rain are all I need today. They speak the way you used to, soft and without weight. They fall the way the evenings fell outside our gate. And in the shadow and the silver, something still remains. Shadows of a quiet rain. I used to think that rain was only weather. Now I know it holds a certain kind of grace, a rhythm and a language all its own, a way of saying things we can't replace. By midnight all the streets had gone to mirror. Each drop had made the city shine like film. And I was somewhere caught between two moments, the one that passed and one that waits to begin. I turned the lamp off slowly near 11 and lay in all that blue and pooled light sound. The rain kept its own faithful conversation long after I had lost the words I'd found. Shadows of a quiet rain on cobblestones below, reflections of a time when everything moves slow. I'm not afraid of silence, not afraid of gray. Shadows of a quiet rain are all I need today. They speak the way you used to, soft and without weight. They fall the way the evenings fell outside our gate. And in the shadow and the silver, something still remains. Shadows of a quiet rain. Still raining, still silver, still soft on the sill, still keeping the evening exactly as still.
just the lamp beside me burning,
reflections slowly pass. The street lamps blur to halos in the downpour. The pigeons found their ledges still and small, and all the city softened into something too quiet. There's a drawer I keep locked in the back of the hall, where the letters I wrote you are stacked up and tall. Every word chosen carefully, every line drawn with care, every sentence beginning with wishing you were there. Some are sealed with the wax of a long autumn night, some are smudged where my hand moved too fast in the light. Some are started in summer and finished in fall, and the most honest one never got started at all. I wrote of the mornings I walked by the sea, and the way that the fall made a stranger of me. I wrote of the market on Saturday noon, and the flower stall girl, and the sad little tune she was playing on something too small for the street, and the melody lingered beneath my cold feet. And I wrote that I thought of you then, standing there in the middle of everything, lost in the air. Letters never sent, held inside a drawer, full of all the feelings I was saving you for. Words that found their endings but could never find the start. Letters never sent, still beating in my heart. I kept them like the last leaves of a season gone, like the last few measures of a half-remembered song. And even though they're fading at the folded seams, they're all I have of everything you ever meant to me. If I could send just one of them, just one, I'd choose the shortest one I ever wrote. 3 lines on the back of an envelope that simply said, I think of you, I hope. The drawer is still locked and the key is still hid behind the small clock, in the way that it did when you were still someone I thought I might call, when I wasn't yet certain of nothing at all. But certainty leaves like the last of the light, and the letters stay sealed through the cold of the night. And I keep them like windows that no longer close, like the last of the amber before winter goes. Letters never sent, held inside a drawer, full of all the feelings I was saving you for. the last few measures of a half-remembered song. And even though they're fading at the fold, it seems they're all I have of everything you ever meant to me. Unsent, unread, but carefully kept, like a name on the lips of someone asleep.
Beside the fountain in the square of old stones, and the world felt like a painting that was ours alone. A vendor pushed a cart of flowers past without a word. A bicycle bell rang twice, then the city blurred. You were saying something soft about the coming fall, but I was watching sunlight, not quite hearing it all. The shadows reached the cobblestones before we rose to leave, and the amber turned to copper in the last of eve. We walked the long way back along the canal's grey edge, while the willows combed the water from the overhanging ledge. We stopped to watch a swan drift past the stone bridge below, and the light behind your shoulder made a kind of halo. This is the moment I'll be reaching for, long after it's become a door I can't find anymore. The last amber afternoon, the last of the gold, before the world grew quiet and the season grew cold. Every year October comes and finds me standing still at the corner of the memory that time will never fill.
fountain still runs cold, the linden leaves still fall, and somewhere in the amber I can almost hear you call. The years have laid their seasons over everything we share. The fountain square is different now, or maybe I'm not there. But sometimes in the early dusk, when the light turns just so, I find myself back in that day, moving slow. The way you turned and smiled before we reached the gate, the way the city held its breath a moment just to wait, and the amber spilled across the stones like something old and true, the last great light of everything. And it was ours, it was you. The last amber afternoon, the last of the gold, before the world grew quiet and the season grew cold. The light on the water, the light on your hair, the last amber afternoon still burning somewhere. I don't need a photograph, I don't need a sign. That afternoon is written in the spaces between time, and whenever the light falls amber through a window or door, I'm standing in that square with you, just like before. Amber on the water, amber on the stone, amber in the memory I carry alone.
There's a place I keep returning to in half sleep and in dreams, somewhere between then and now. Nothing's quite what it seems. The faces there are familiar in the way old music is, not sharp enough to name, but warm enough to miss. The light there falls the way it did in late September rooms, through curtains that are neither white nor yellow, but between. And everyone is moving very slowly, very soft, like frames of silent film projected up aloft. I've tried to find the edges of that somewhere in between, to trace it back to memory or to something I have seen. But it dissolves
was the moment that I hold it up today, like morning frost on pavement when the sun has come to stay. Still I find myself returning when the afternoon grows thin, when the city sounds grow distant and the quiet lets me in to somewhere between the leaving and the not yet being gone, where everything is ending but the song keeps going on. Somewhere between then and now, the light is always soft, the voice is never sharp enough to carry or get lost. It's not the past exactly, and it's not quite memory. It's somewhere in between the you I knew and who you'd be. I don't know how to reach it, and I don't know how I stay, but somewhere between then and now, I visit every day. And when I leave, I carry something I can't put in words. Somewhere between then and now, and this is all I know for sure. Between the hello and the letting go, between the fire and the fading glow, between the knowing and the not quite sure, that's where I find you. That's where you were. Perhaps the in-between is where the truest things are kept. Not wide awake, but not exactly having slept. Not fully here, but not entirely gone from sight. Not afternoon, not evening, not the morning light. The train is in the station, but has not yet left the track. The letter's been delivered, but there's no way to get back. And somewhere in that moment, where the possible still breathes, I find the version of us that the future always leaves. Somewhere between then and now, the light is always soft, the voice is never sharp enough to carry or get lost. It's not the past exactly, and it's not quite memory. It's somewhere in between the you I knew and who you'd be. I don't know how to reach it, and I don't know how I stay, but somewhere between it every day. And when I leave, I carry something I can't put in words. Somewhere between then and now. And this is all I know for sure. Between the hello and the letting go, between the fire and the fading glow, between the knowing and the not quite sure, that's where I find you, that's where you were. Perhaps the It isn't autumn, it isn't spring, it has no name, it has no ring of a bell that calls the mornings in. It's the space between where I begin to feel the air a different way, to see the light change in a day, without a name for what I feel, but knowing something in me is real. I bought some flowers for no reason, for this unnamed and borderless season. I set them where the window faces east and watch them open, small at least. The neighbor's radio played something from a decade that was still becoming, and the melody sat perfectly still in the season I can't name but feel. The season I can't name but know by feel, the kind of quiet that makes the silence real. Not happy, not quite sad, but somewhere between. A season I can't name, a light I've never seen in summer's ending or in a winter start. It visits me in some unmarked part of the heart, and I live inside it for a day or two. This nameless season that always brings me back to you. Maybe every life has its unnamed time, a passing between lines, a space between rhyme that isn't catalogued or kept on any shelf. A season that belongs entirely to yourself. The tea kettle hums on the stove by the wall, and the season is neither summer nor fall. The cup fills with something warm and unclear, and I sit with the feeling of almost being here. The cat finds a patch of the afternoon sun season, this unhurried grace. A season I can't name but know by feel, the kind of quiet that makes the silence real. Not happy, not quite sad, but somewhere between. A season I can't name, a light I've never seen. In summer's ending or in winter's start, it visits me in some unmarked part of the heart, and I live inside it for a day or two. This nameless season that always brings me back to you. No name for it, no date, no turning leaves, just the season that arrives without a reason. Cafe on the corner of the rue I used to know still has the same red awning and the table set below. The waiter in the apron has a different face these days, but the light still filters in the same through the November haze. I ordered what I always did and sat beside the glass and watched the same parade of coats and faces slowly pass. A woman read a paperback, a man wrote in a book, and everyone inside that room had that familiar look of people who have learned to need a table and a chair, a cup of something warm, and the permission to just stare at nothing and at everything at once and all the same, at the world outside the window moving gently in the frame. I heard a song come softly from the speaker near the bar, something from another decade played on an old guitar, and everything inside me tilted slowly to the past, to the echoes of the cafe that I thought I'd found at last. Echoes of an old cafe in a city I still love, the same light through the same glass, the same sky above, the same smell of dark coffee and of autumn in the street. The echoes of an old cafe, everything bittersweet. I'm not the same as when I first pulled out this very chair, but the cafe holds the echo of the person who sat there, and the music from the speaker plays the same familiar phrase, echoes of an old cafe, echoes of those days. We never know the last time as it happens. We never mark the exits as they come. saucer as I rose to go and turn once at the doorway in the amber of the glow. The tables still were filled with all their solitary guests, their coats on empty chairs, their cups pressed to their chests. The music from the speaker found a chorus and a close, and outside the November moved with its unhurried prose. And I walked back into the city, pulling up my collar high, carrying the echo of the cafe like a lullaby. Echoes of an old cafe in a city I still love. The same light through the same glass, the same sky above, the same smell of dark coffee and of autumn in the street. The echoes of an old cafe, everything bittersweet. I'm not the same as when I first pulled out this very chair, but the cafe holds the echo of the person who sat there, and the music from the speaker plays the same familiar phrase. Echoes of an old cafe, echoes of those days. Still the light, still the chair, still the echo left behind, still the cafe in the corner of my mind.
Drove the road that fades to blue at the edge of afternoon, past the fields of dried out lavender beneath the early moon, past the farmhouse with the broken gate, the chapel on the hill, past the row of silver poplars standing perfectly still. The radio was barely there, a signal in and out, a voice that kept on singing something full of patient doubt. And the road stretched on before me like a question I had kept too long inside my pocket, too long while the world slept. Headlights caught the gravel as the daylight left the sky and turned the roadside grasses to a kind of lullaby. A rabbit paused beside the ditch and looked at me, then gone. And the blue that filled the rear view was the blue-eyed lips so long. I've been driving towards some version of the end of something known, some horizon that keeps backing up, some light I've not yet shown. But the blue that fills the distance is the softest kind of call. The road that fades to blue knows how to hold us after all. The road that fades to blue in the last of the light, where the day becomes a color and the color becomes night, where the past
something still and true. The road that fades to blue, fading into you. There are roads you drive not knowing why, and destinations that are simply sky. And the going is the only thing that's real, and the blue is the only thing you feel. I pulled over near a viewpoint as the stars began to show, and stood outside the engine's warmth and let the cold wind blow. The valley down below was lit with amber threads of road, and the blue above was absolute, and absolute and whole. I thought of every road I'd taken thinking I was lost, of every turn that cost me something, every bridge I crossed. And standing in the blue, I felt the strangest kind of peace. The road that fades to blue is where the holding things release. The road that fades to blue in the last of the light, where the day becomes a color and the color becomes night, where the past is in the rear view and the future is the haze. The road that fades to blue, the road that fades to grace. I'm not running from anything, I'm not arriving soon, I'm just driving where the daylight fades to blue, and the blue holds something gentle, holds something still and true. The road that fades to blue, fading into you. Fading blue, fading blue, fading into night. Still driving, still searching for that light. Before the city fully woke, I walked along the square. The fog had left its fingerprints on everything out there. The benches held the shadows of the night before they left, and the morning light came sideways, tentative and soft and deft. A figure at the fountain had his collar turned against the cold. A woman with a bicycle was carrying something old, and all of them were silhouettes before the day grew clear, moving through the morning like a memory I held dear. I stopped beside the bakery where the window glowed with bread, and watched the shapes move slowly past before the world was red. A child pressed their mittens flat against the frosted pane, and left two perfect handprints there before they came away again. The light was making halos of the ordinary things, of a lamppost and a railing and a pigeon spreading wings. And I was standing still inside the middle of it all, a silhouette, myself inside that morning's curtain call. Silhouettes in the morning light before the world is named, before the shapes resolve to faces, nothing is explained, just the outline of existence, soft against the gray. Silhouettes in the morning light before they fade away. I wanna stay inside that moment, still and undefined, before the day becomes the day and leaves the shapes behind. There is beauty in the outline, beauty in the form, silhouettes in the morning light before they all transform. Every person is a silhouette before you know their name. Every love is just an outline until it speaks your name. And maybe all we really see is shadow before light, and maybe that is where we're truest, at the edge of night. The morning opens slowly like a photograph in a bath, and colors fill the silhouettes along the cobbled path. The figure at the fountain had a scarf of faded red. The woman with the bicycle turned into someone's friend. And everything resolved into the ordinary day. But I kept the memory of the outlines on the gray. The shapes before the city knew exactly what to call them. The silhouettes in morning light before the morning falls them. Silhouettes in the morning light before the world is named, before the shapes resolve to faces, nothing is explained, just the outline of existence, soft against the gray. Silhouettes in the morning light before they fade away. I wanna stay inside that moment, still and undefined, before the day becomes the day and leaves the shapes behind. There is beauty in the outline, beauty in the form, silhouettes in the morning light before they all transform. Still in the morning, still made of light and gray, still becoming silhouettes of the day. In a house I haven't entered in a decade or more, there's a clock on the mantle keeping time like before. It was wound by a hand that grew tired of winding and left the spring coiled in its own kind of minding. The pendulum swings to to a count that I knew. Each tick was the sound of a moment with you. And somewhere that clock is still marking the hours, still chiming the half past through the silence and flowers. I've replaced all my clocks with the kind that don't chime, with the digital faces that just move through time. But the silence they keep isn't silence at all. It's the shape of the chiming that still fills the hall. The quarter-hour tone in the back of my ear, the half-past that opened to let the day clear, the full-hour chorus that gathered the room still chimes somewhere past the back of the afternoon. Somewhere the clock still chimes the hour I last loved you. Somewhere the hands still move the way they always knew. The quarter, the half, the slow and patient hold. Somewhere the clock still chimes and keeps my soul. I can't go back to wind it, can't lean in and hear the bell in the hallway of a vanished year. But it chimes in my memory, faithful and precise. Somewhere the clock still chimes, and that will have to suffice. Time is the strangest keeper of all. It gives us the chime, then takes away the hall. Gives us the hour, then moves on regardless. Keeps the clock running when everything else is. My daughter once asked me why clocks make a sound, and I said because time needs to know that it's found, that it hasn't slipped past like a river in dark, but has someone to hear it, someone to mark. She nodded and wound up her little toy clock and set it beside her and listened for the knock of the small metal bell at the top of the hour. And we sat there together in the sound of that power. Somewhere the clock still chimes the hour I last loved you. Somewhere the hands still move the way they always knew. The quarter, the half, the slow and patient hold. Somewhere the clock still chimes and keeps my soul. I can't go back to wind it, can't lean in and hear the bell in the hallway of a vanished year. But it chimes in my memory, faithful and precise. Somewhere the clock still chimes, and that will have to suffice. Quarter past something, half past a life. still chiming the hour in the stillness of time.